Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today I've got a 1 versus 1 on Emerald River. Playing as the Space Marines, we've got Xeros, and playing as the Death Guard, we have got Tigershark. Tigershark will be opening of double Nurgle cultists, a Poxwalker slave, and a Scourge generator, whereas the Space Marines are going to go for a couple of Scout Marine squads, squad cap increase, which is quite interesting, a Servitor, and a Chapel Barracks. So we've got veritable plague wars going on here. Just a small skirmish, just a little... We won't make this a themed game. Next themed game is going to be the purging of Camp 109, which is the Sisters Hospitaller versus Nurgle Demons and Traitor Guardsmen. So we'll make that a thing. I've just been a bit busy over this week, so I haven't really had time to get the games organised and stuff. But yeah, interesting. Are you actually going to go for that? No, he's cancelled the squad cap increase, which makes a lot of sense. I was like, that's quite an interesting opening there. But yeah, so we'll see how things go. I imagine that the Death Guard have got the advantage in the early game, considering that their Nurgle cultists can slap around the scouts, and the regular Death Guard Space Marines can punch around the Ultramarines fairly nicely. But then in Tier 2, when they get their plasma guns out, the Space Marines will be able to take on the Death Guard Marines. In theory, he says, with no degree of confidence, we shall see if the battle plan survives contact with the enemy, which is not what it's always known for. Little Poxwalker slave moseying on around in the distance, looking to capture these strategic points around the sickly green colour of the Emerald River. Not sure if it's... I mean, by these little markings here, it looks more Necronish, but for thematical reasons, we're going to say it's a blessed river of Nurgle. But actually, give me 2 seconds. Totally sorry about that, guys. I had to answer the door. It was the Mormons, if you can believe that. Funnily enough, they only ever knock on the door when I'm ever busy doing stuff like this or in the shower. But, you know, that is the way that they do things, isn't it? Anyway, what on earth was I talking about? I paused this video and about like 25 minutes has passed by because I can't tell them to leave. I'm just far too polite to just end up talking about, the meaning of life. And it's like, I have no idea. And neither do you, but you think you do. But anyway, never mind existential crises and complications with the Lord Almighty. Got some scouts moving on into the middle. We'll see this listing post. Currently unbuilt at the moment. This Poxwalker slave is deciding, nope, I don't want to get involved in that, so I will go back home. They do have hero mode on as well on this, so units that stay alive for longer will become stronger as they go about killing things and all this stuff. But no major assaults at the moment. I'm going to see these Plague Marines wantonly walking over, going to engage in glorious ranged combat against these scouts, and the scouts will not want to stay for very long, considering that these guys not only have a sword but also can just hold an entire bolt gun in one hand, because that's just how they roll. Don't miss any days at the gym. They've got powerful gains going on. Ultramarines are going to go around over on this side. No strategic point over here being captured as of yet, so they can just go about their business. Plague Lord from Tigershark will encounter them as they go about. And these scouts standing in negative cover, that's not where you want to be, young man. You want to get out there as quick as possible. But then, I see your plan. You were drawing them in. Oh, a quick tier 2 from Xeros. Okay, that's nice. So the Space Marines will be able to start getting their plasma guns when the army comes out. Scouts over here are going to be bashed up by these Nurgle cultists. Yeah, they're not going to win anytime soon. Although then again, in saying that, they're auto-reinforced. Well, they're reinforcing themselves, but even with being reinforced, that's a poor trade, I'm afraid. Ultramarines engaging in a bit of fisticuffs with these guys, being supported by the scouts. It's not a terrible thing. I mean, Space Marines are a little bit better in close combat than they are at ranged. Plague Lord throwing in the healing juice for these Plague Marines. And they're going to be alright. They're going to be fine. Generally, you kind of want to avoid close combat with the Plague Marines unless you're a close combat oriented unit, just because of the explosions and stuff. Don't want lots of Plague goop on you mid-combat. They're going to fall back. This listing post will be upgraded with a poisoned marker enhancement. Plague Grenade over on here. At this point, you kind of want to run away, wait for that tick of damage to go, well, to fade away before you can then restart. The Codex Astartes does not support the actions of standing in plague filth. Yeah, they're fine. They've moved back. They pop a turret down there and a listing post. Quite nice placements to make sure that it kind of encourages them to stay around this general negative cover area. Just some Nurgle cultists coming over here, having a look at this relic.
Yes, Lord.
And the servitor will probably want to go back home. He's nowhere near finished it as of yet. And, oh, what's going on over here? Oh, more scouts. This is a lot of scouts. There's a lot of money being put towards your scouts. Generally, I mean, if these guys aren't going to win unupgraded against any of the opponent's units, you kind of want to just use them as your capping unit and then just transition away into your regular units. Although the servitor managing to build up this listing post, which is quite nice. Yeah, like, I could understand if they were infiltrated, if they had snipers, then fair play, but, like, because they haven't got any upgrades or anything like that. Unless they're going to go for their plasma guns as well, but we need that armory. We need it ASAP. No, cultists will not succeed in bashing away that listing post. We'll go for the upgrade. This listing post over here has been upgraded. And I do believe that Tigershark has gone for Mortarian's Chosen, the 7th Company. So all plague-spewing weapons do a little bit more damage. Which I do believe it's the most popular company that I've seen on the channel. Not sure if it's the most popular company in PvP matches overall, but it's certainly the one I've seen the most of. I suppose it's just because it's the most universally useful. It's like, there's one way you get, like, demons and stuff, which is nice, but very situational. There's one where you get, like, poxwalker zombies or something, again, nice, but situational, and you can't reinforce them for reasons beyond my ken. There we go, armory coming up. And are we in tier 2 for you? Just about getting there for tier 2. Go for 2 Temples of Diseases, because why not? And Gift Repository, Remorseless Warriors, increasing their health and all that good stuff, so making them even more difficult to swat away. Space Marines just chilling out. They've got their points. They've captured everything on their side of the map at the moment. Need to build some listing posts there.
Yes, my lord.
Do not want to leave those unbuilt. Current economies are 92 and 20 compared to 98 and 30. And the Plague Lord is waddling onwards. And with these upgrades, not sure how they're going to fare. But they'll certainly be a pain. Oh, they've gone for at least one Plague Belcher, which will at least smash up the morale for the Space Marines. So they won't handle a long-term engagement. Gone for one heavy bottle gun. And then one plasma gun. Would have liked to have seen 2 plasma guns, but that's fine. Diversity is our strength. At least that's what I've been told. More plague grenades going to go out down over here. Again, when this happens, run backwards. Just for a little brief while, unless, of course, you've got the numerical advantage. There we go, and now they're turning around. One plasma gun blazing away. Plague Lord going up against this listing post, which is now tier 3. So unexpected, you don't normally see a tier 3 listing post, especially so far away from your main base. But yeah, that's actually saved them. And now have 2 plasma guns. It'd be quite a difficult line to break through, even with all their health upgrades. We've got to be careful not to push too far ahead, Xeros. Look at the responsibility. Look at the trigger discipline. Scouts over here, though, just chilling out. Not sure if he's forgotten about this side of the map. We can't push over to the relic over here, as that is too much for scouts to deal with. I can see some assault marines. We go for some power claw. Oh, so some lightning claws. Okay. Well, so assault marines jump in, slice these guys up while plasma guns. I mean, that's a recipe for success, if ever I've seen one. If ever I have seen one. One servitor coming out. And we're going to see a force commander. Okay, yep, that's not a bad shout. Plague Havoc's on the way. Will be useful for destroying those listing posts. Going for, how does one say that? Inexorable advance. And a Putrid Missiles. Putrid Missiles will allow these Havocs to be good against infantry and vehicles. So that is useful. This Plague Lord talks way too... I haven't even clicked on you and you're talking to me. Stop it. Grow up. Be sensible for 5 minutes. This all means... Where are you going? Oh, you're going over... Ha! So you're going for your lightning claws, or just one lightning claw. You're going to bash a building, but you have a melter gun for that, young man. And then while that's going on, we've then got these people who are now coming in. They've got additional firepower. More plague grenades being thrown around, although then again these plague marines are struggling quite a lot. Now being tied up by the Plague Lord. Morale being broken. The listing post over here suffering quite a lot. Need to get a servitor down here ASAP, or at least these assault marines to give up on this point over here and move down this way. Or remember that you own scouts. That might be useful. But they are going to fall back. They've lost a lot of their power. Now we're going to go for some flamers. Which flamers in this situation, it's not the morale that's really bothering you with the plague marines. I mean, they've got 800 as a standard anyway. Whereas Space Marine standard, without the Force Command, I do believe is 500? Question mark? There we go. Now the assault marines come in. But a little bit too little, a little bit too late. He says, but they're going to come back. They're going to give it another go. Through self-belief and desire to win, they will bring it back, potentially. Sergeant has been spawned. Both going to go for some plasma guns. Force Commander holding his own here. The auto-reinforcement for these assault marines, although getting an upgrade in the middle of it, quite risky, especially when you've got two really low health models. I mean, you also, oh, that's unfortunate. The guy who's nearly dead is the one who got the lightning claw. Nah, bad trades there, I'm afraid. I'm gonna go for some more heavy bolter turrets. Although not near the front lines. Interesting. I think what this is going to be, and I hate to maybe highlight something like this, but this might be more of like an educational kind of cast, which should be okay, because I mean, you know, we're all new and we're all learning. But yeah, I think we've seen a couple of things that can be improved on. Like, say for example, scouts over here buying too many and then not using them. Assault marines being unsure of what their role was in this. They went for lightning claws, but then they started smashing up this, which they managed to get down. Dreadnought going down, which is good. Well done. Scouts now, there we go, going for their plasma guns. Because even if you've bought the wrong units, you can still make them semi-useful by giving them the right upgrades. So that's a good way of thinking about it. Plague Marines over here falling back a little bit. Maybe they're not too confident because they've lost their Dreadnought, so they're thinking, right, we'll wait for them to come back out. Gonna go for some Possessed Marines, some Chosen Marines, a Sigil of Decay Bearer. So bringing out the big units here. Going for the elite, 133 and 120 compared to 86 and 60. So that's another reason why you don't build up like lots of turrets, because we've got 3 turrets overall. So you generally would want to make sure that at least all your listing posts have got their shooty bits on, because they kind of act as a turret anyway, don't they? So yeah, I mean, you've got this listing post here. Rather than building a turret next to it, just put a gun on your listening post, and then not only do you have a defensive structure there, but you also have extra blue money coming in. And generally, like in the early game, turrets are quite useful because they can kind of like deny areas for a little while when everyone's just getting their armies up. But at this stage, when you're in the mid game, turrets around the map aren't incredibly useful. So when you've got Plague Havocs, you know that your opponent's got Plague Havocs here. So any structures are going to be quite easy to take down. See some missile launchers on these guys. They had to get those to take out the Dreadies. Now Possessed Marines are going to come in, slap these guys around the chops, instantly breaking the morale more or less. Assault Marines over here regaining the morale. Need to make sure that they're tying up the ranged units here. Force Commander, where have you been? Late to the party. But come straight over. Jumping over the edge. Oh dear, oh no. It landed right here. That is not where he wanted to land at all. Fantastic stuff. So I think what Xeros was doing here was they left his scouts over here to maybe defend in case anything was pushing down this way. Now, if you've got your listening post upgraded, and your heavy bolter turret here. And then you're also going to leave infantry as well. It kind of defeats the objective of leaving the turret there. You may as well just bring your whole army. As the famous Mortis would say, it's army to army. That's what you want. And I don't think he's gone for his... So one really useful thing that a lot of people tend to forget about, for especially their sergeants and other stuff like that, is in their armories when they get their... You can get your upgrades for your sergeants, and they come out with plasma pistols. Same with like most factions as well. Most factions have an upgrade for their unit leaders that can give them like an extra gun and weapon, which sounds like a really small thing, but it does make quite a big difference.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
But no, we've just got Turret City going on at the moment. Got some Devastators out there. It's not a bad shout. Especially if they get that plasma cannon online in the tier 3s. Dreadnought out in the open. Gotta watch out for those Havocs there. Plague Marines are going to fall back. What are you contemplating? You're gonna get those gracious benefits and the Mantle of Contagion. More squad as well. Wonder if he's just playing with his food here. So, right, well, from the Space Marine perspective, what can we do? We know that we're in a bad situation. We know that we're probably not going to win this, but what can we do to improve?
Scouts ready.
Got our listing post. We need these upgraded. Absolutely need these doofed up. And it doesn't seem like to me that he's gone for his... Oh, what do you call it? The escalation research. Those little blue and green flags that basically give you more bang for your buck. Sacred Artifact, not a bad choice. If he goes for like a chaplain, maybe if he goes for some apothecaries, which you know, thematically, just nice against Nurgle, aren't they? But yeah, because if you've got a small amount of lads and you don't really have the capacity or the economy to get more, then maybe an apothecary here or there, just to keep the ones that you already have alive, might be a good shout. Space Marines taking out these Nurgle cultists. I wonder if they've just been thrown in just to increase the... or decrease the squad cap so that the Plague Marines are able to get more lads out.
We shall be remembered in the book of honor.
If you are going to go for heavy bolter turrets, yeah, again, like they're a bit spread out, aren't they? Like, if you're going to hold a line, then your turrets need to be in the same kind of situation, but... Nah, generally avoid them. Avoid them unless you've... Unless it's in the early game, or it's late game, and, I don't know, maybe you want to put some turrets in the base because you're worried about maybe some airplanes coming along and ruining your day. It's Primaris Interceptors, and a tier 3. Okay. So Death Guard, I think they're being kind here, and they're giving you time. Normally you would not have this amount of time. To be honest, after that first engagement, where the submarines got wiped out, in theory, Tigershark could have just continued pushing, and pushing and pushing until you ended up dying. That's okay, because that's what it's all about. We're all here to learn. Force Commander instantly murdered. Very unfortunate. Might want to leave him standing near the apothecary just for a little while. Dreadnought moves forward. And if anything, you want to kind of move this Dreadnought either through the Possessed Marines, or engaging the Possessed Marines so that they don't attack your boys, or go for that Plague Havoc squad, but as you saw then, just absolutely murdered by double Plague Havocs. Also got that Foul Blight Spawn, which is a real lethal unit, especially when attached to those chosen Plague Marines. This guy could just wipe out buildings more or less. And now I've got a Desecrator and a Plague Burst Crawler. Another thing in this situation, when you know that your opponent's got lots of lads on the field and you know that you can't beat them in a fair and easy engagement, then maybe it might be an idea to start attacking the map where you know that they're weakest. So obviously, Xeros knew that the Plague Marines were somewhere down here, or at least down in this general area, but maybe not here. So if you think that, oh well, my opponent's too strong when they're en masse, if you try to attack in different areas, then that might pull your opponent apart. Just giving... Oh, sorry, just knock the mic there. But yeah, it might pull them apart, might give them a little bit of a chance, or might give you a little bit of a chance to kill, isolate, annihilate. If I'm making any sense whatsoever, I hope this is semi-useful at the very least. But yeah, double Plague Havocs, that's incredibly strong. Incredibly strong. unit. Not sure how they're going to be changed and adapted in the next patch for Unification. Although, in saying that, they are incredibly useful, but they are limited to 2 squads. I don't know if maybe reducing their squad number... Because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having units that are incredibly strong, is there? It's just so long as they're limited in a certain kind of capacity. These guys are falling back. Why are you falling back? You're just teasing your opponent, and you're just giving him one last chance for a final stand. Oh, Tigershark, you rascal. Loves the thematics, loves the drama. Defensive Ultramar version 2. Nurgling's coming in, but easily swatted away. Some Vanguard veteran squads here. But it's all for naught here. And... Oh, alright, okay. I see. Right, fair enough, fair enough. He wanted to summon the Demon Prince. Behold my ascension. And there we go. Don't see him very often, but when you see him, it's always a treat. Oh, and we've also got a Pestilent Land Raider as well. Yeah, there's no way coming back from this. So yeah, I hope that wasn't too critical. I don't, like I said, I don't usually like to post games like this, but I didn't intend it to be this when we started, and well, I ain't recording another video. Gosh darn it. And after that talk with the Mormons, I've got other things to do today. But yeah, I think that occasionally a video like this might be useful for everyone. All in that. More Dreadnoughts coming out. Lots of Nurglings scattering around the feet of the soon-to-be fallen. The veterans have gone for their Thunder Hammer, which will help them quite tremendously against most things. But these most things are too many things. We're going to give it a go all the same. We've got to respect it. Got to absolutely respect the grind here. But yeah, that's going to be all. That's going to be all. So anyway, yeah, thank you players for submitting this game. If you want to take part in games such as these and many other kinds, there's a Discord in the description where all the usual good things happen, and there's a Patreon. £1 a month gets you 1 extra game a week, and also voting privileges for future themed games and stuff. Anyway, that's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never a chore. I will see you in a bit. Peace.